Watch Nighttiger Comics!
Tiger Comics.
Tiger Comics!
Nighttiger Comics! Nighttiger Comics!
Nighttiger Comics!
Okay.
What's Nighttiger Comics?
Comics!
Yeah.
You never know what you're missing. What's up, comic book junkies? Mike Smith here, or Old Man Nighttiger at Nighttiger Comics. Been a hectic week. Getting ready to go on vacation Friday till the new year, and I thought I'd show everything that's collected that I haven't shown since the last video. I got a wonderful AOK. Well, let's just get into it. I'm going to start out with some nice chocolate milk from Shamrock Farms. Let's get our Wessel wet. Okay. I haven't tried this milk yet. They switched it up on me at the truck stop. I was buying a different one. Guess I was buying too many. That's good stuff. So Merry Christmas to you. Hope you and yours are going to have a wonderful Christmas this year. I hope 2024 was good to you as far as collecting. It was great for me. I actually got a couple highlights in here, and I hope I'm planning on doing some 24 pickups from 2024 when I get back from vacation. The next day I get back, I'm going to head to the flea market, so maybe I'll find some good stuff there. So I got this wonderful AOK from Dave Surf Blue. If you're not subbed to him, check him out. He does a lot of collectibles, comics, a lot of sports cards, a lot of Western themed stuff. His dad used to travel to the conventions and take them with him when he was a kid. So he's got a lot of knowledge of that, and now his dad's gifting him lots of parts of his collection. Let's start out with this DVD, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. And what year is that from? That's from the 60s. I didn't look at the year. 1958? I don't know. I used to watch this as a kid. So when he threw that in and I saw it, I can't wait to watch this. This is one of those movies that would come around once a year, and you had like 3 channels. And it was a great, I love the stop animation in here, the giant monsters. There was a couple movies in this series that was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Thanks, Dave. I actually looking forward to watching that. And excuse me, I'm a little frazzled. I've been working almost on no sleep for the last couple of days. Okay, he sent me this. Big Reel newspapers from 1990 something, 2006. So it's got a lot of Hollywood stuff in there. This is the Western issue. Some cool articles in there, so I want to check it out, go through it. It's not my forte, but I do like Westerns, and I do like to read articles in history and stuff, so I am going to check this out. Maybe I'll bring it on my cruise and read it. He sent me one of these. Now, I don't even know. You know, sometimes there's stuff that you like and you just don't know why. I got a few of these, a couple on the wall over here. I don't know if you can see them. I got a Spider-Man, a Captain Marvel one. I had another one a while back, but it fell apart. Looks like this one's falling apart too. They get old, and the glue or whatever they have just kind of falls apart, and the other one just kind of fell open when I touched it. But this is Superman. This is Superman Rebirth #1. I do have this comic, but I don't know. It's just cool. It's an action figure. And I don't know if that's the actual comic from the original print or if that's a special print for this. But there you go. Superman Rebirth #1. Very cool. So I'll hang that on the wall because it's from my buddy Dave. And thank you, Dave, on that. He's got a note here. Thanks for being a friend. So me and Dave, we talk pretty much daily, or at least every other day. So thanks for being a friend. Hope you enjoy your box of fun. Love, Surf Blue. David Rothgary. Yeah, we like today we probably sent 4 or 5 messages back and forth together. So this is Collectibles Illustrated, What to Save from the 1980s. So I'm gonna bring that on the cruise and read that. And if you grew up in the 80s, you know, and the 70s, you know that plate collecting was a huge thing. My dad had a bunch of ship ones, and he had some World War or Civil War plates. Phyllis Diller, cork collector, so she collects corks. And one of my favorite places to eat, and usually when I go to a flea market, I'll get up extra early and I'll go here and eat. He sent me the menu place, so this is cool. I want to put this on the wall. I love Waffle House. Their waffles are the best in the world. But unfortunately, I'm getting old and I gain weight too easily, so I'm kind of I don't eat wheat anymore. But I love to go there and have their eggs and bacon. So yeah, Waffle House. I'm happy about that. It's a cool thing. Wasn't that some cool little, put all different little cool things in here. So he sent 2 packages of comics. The first one I had every comic. The second one I didn't have any of them. So pretty cool. So I'll put these in Mylar and I'll put these in the prize box. But you got Invaders number 40 with a cool Bear and Blood cover. And I really love Invaders. Bear and Blood's a very cool character. John Byrne did a great run in Captain America with him. So I'll put these in the gift box for somebody put them in nice Mylar bags. Hulk vs. Machine Man. Star Spangled War stories. Another great movie from the 80s. I love this movie. I've seen it multiple times. Time Bandits. There's one line in the movie where Robin Hood asks one of the married men, "How are you doing?" And he goes, "About 4'5", and I always laugh at that line. I don't know why. And then Unknown Soldier number 1 from the second series. So these I already have. I'll put those in Mylar, I said, and somebody will get them somewhere. So Cole, really nice copy of Cole number 18. I saw this movie as a kid. The only thing about this movie I didn't like is the dragon only shows up at the end. But Marvel did the movie adaptation. Paramount Disney motion picture, Dragon Slayer number 1. I don't think I have it anymore. Or no, these 2 I do have. That's right. So these are from the pack where I have these. So my dad was big into studying war, especially Civil War and World War II. So he knew everything about World War II, all the insignias, uniforms, weapons from every army, every military. He used to build dioramas, and he would win first prize almost every time. They were so realistic. And another thing he did, he liked the Civil War. So he studied everything about the Civil War, insignias, uniforms, weapons. So we had the Time Life leather-bound books from the Wild West, and we also had the Time Life book Civil War series. So that's where I get a lot of my passion for the Western. Dave sent me this, and definitely want to read it. Life Explores the Wild West, True Tales and Amazing Legends. I'm always going on YouTube looking to true Wild West stories, outlaws, stuff like that. Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday. So this is cool. Another thing a couple of things I got to bring with me. So this he also sent new book of the Wild West, Legends that Define the American Old West. It's a fascinating time in America where law and order was just developing out in the West. There was pretty much you had to defend yourself. And so you had these outlaws that were running wild, and then you had lawmen, people that kind of come up and were the opposite of the outlaws, and they were given badges and stuff, and just a weird and cool time in American history. Okay, so getting on to the next pack. of the book. So I didn't have any of these. So Shazam number 6. Star Spangled War Stories 201, and I have like almost all the run. I just didn't have that one. So good call, Dave. Commandy number 23, Kirby cover, Kirby interiors. I have not got around to reading this series yet. In my mind, one day I'm going to sit down and read, like, knock the whole thing out. Hopefully I won't wait too long. And then these two were my favorite out of all the comics he sent me, so I put them in Mylar right away. So this is P2 Boat Skipper Captain Storm number 6. This is one I always remember seeing from my childhood. I'd never had it in my collection. I don't know if it was, maybe it was house ads at DC that showed this cover. So it's like, it's something I recognize right away. It's Silver Age. So I threw it in the Mylar. And this next book, now it's low grade. It's a reprint. It probably means nothing to hardly anybody. But to me, it was one that I've actually wanted for a while. If you know this channel, I'm putting together like a very big Good Girl Western, Golden Age, a little bit of silver, Good Girl Western collection. This one I didn't have, so I was after it. I never pulled the trigger on it. So I noticed that BWD, Jesse, shout out to him, sent it to Dave, and Dave sent it to me. I love the cover. Everett Raymond Kinsler cover, obviously. Whip Wilson, number 1, 1958. Just a really cool cover. I love it. I think it's so cool. So happy to get that in the collection. Put these down here. So the last thing that was in the AOK that has blew my mind. At first, I'm like, I looked at it, the character. I know the character well, and I know there are a lot of collectors that I know that are really into this character, collecting his first appearances from 1940, 41. He appeared first in some kind of military digest, either sold or given away on the PX. And there's a history in here about the character. There was some kind of military newspaper that people were assigned to. It was like something they didn't want to do. They had to do it. So they didn't put a whole lot of effort in. And I forget who the creator was, made up this comic book character based on a private in the military. And it caught on. So it's a sad sack, early 1944. All the pages have like 4 gags with no words on them. But when I started opening it up, first it was given to a Lieutenant M.L. McAlexander. So that's cool. I mean, if it had been a name that wasn't military, it wouldn't have been that cool, but it's a lieutenant. Maybe I can find this guy, do some research on him. So that was the first thing. I was like, okay, ding, ding. Because I was going to give this to somebody else. And then when I opened it, like I said, I'm fascinated with military history, like my dad had got me into. So here, they put a little blurb about the recent ruling by the War Production Board over here and how they co-opt. So they're following the regulations. They made the papers thinner. They made the pages smaller so that they could co-opt with the regulation. And I thought that was really cool. And then so I looked at the date, 1944, 6 printing. I'm like, I'm keeping this in my collection. And then in the back, it has a self-portrait of the writer, Sergeant George Baker. And he writes a little bio on himself. So that's cool. Or I don't know if he wrote the bio. Let's see. It doesn't say who wrote it. But, so that's cool. And it's in pretty decent shape. So I'm like, this is staying in the Nighttiger collection. And you can see the smile on my face. I'm really happy with this. I think this is so cool. Okay, so on Black Friday, I bought 1 comic book. I actually had a whole run of Weird Adventure with the Spectre and they were all 60% off, so they were $4 a piece. A couple of them were a little cheaper, which is a great price because they were like VFs. But I have them all already. And then I was walking around and I remembered I need an Xbox. The last few Xboxes I have either didn't work, my friend broke my other one, and I used to have 3 of them, and the other first 2 were destroyed by friends because we're rough. We do Halo parties, so I bought me an Xbox 360. So I was happy. So they only gave you like 25% off for that. So it was like I bought like 3 games. So with the games and everything came to $100. I thought it was a pretty decent price. All right, now let me open this package. So I got this. I got there the second day of the Black Friday, so they were all out of Mylar at this big shop. Well, they were all out of the Mylar I needed. So I went on eBay. So Amazon, used to buy from Amazon. It would be here like the next day. But the prices are going up on Amazon. It went from $16 to like $23 or $25. So I went on eBay and I found a seller who had them at $17.25 a pack of Mylar. So it says, Michael, thank you again. Happy holidays. So I bought 2. I needed some current bags. So those were $34 or $36.53 for 2, which is not bad. And that's at Spandex Comics on eBay. So I needed some currents. I'm actually actively Mylaring my whole collection. And I'm actually on the second box of the A's. And I ran out. So where am I? I'm just past the Avengers. And I noticed that when you Mylar them, they won't all fit back in the long box anymore. So I gotta. And I have all long boxes for what I read and I file them away. So that's what I'm Mylaring. Then I got to go back to the end box. So there's like 20 boxes or 30, I don't remember. And move everything from there forward so that I can fit everything from the beginning. So I got to take all the boxes out and move like a stack forward. It's a job, man. It's fun, but it's tedious. Okay, so I got that. I'm looking forward to 2025. I actually found a book on eBay for $20 yesterday, a Warbond Golden Age Kirby book for $20 shipped. But it's not going to get here until after I'm on vacation. So the prizes for the Christmas show, they are going out tomorrow. They're all here. I decorated the boxes a little bit. And somebody won two of the prizes, so I didn't have time to decorate the second box, so you got one decorated. And you don't know who you are. So the prizes are going out tomorrow. Like I said, 2024 was a great year. I'm hoping I find time to do videos. These days, it's not that I'm lazy. I'd rather read comics than spend time editing videos. So I admire you guys out there are doing content consistently. A couple highlights from this year. I picked up World Finest number 9 with Hitler, Tojo, Mussolini, Batman, Robin, Superman. I read this. It was well worth the $170 I paid for it. It's missing the back cover, but otherwise it's complete. I think it might be missing one other page. I don't remember. But I read it. Joker appearance in here. It was well worth it. And it's such a tough book to get. Another highlight. This is considered incomplete. It's missing the cards on the one side of the back cover. And let me tell you, it's a horror story. So I got these books on my wall using fishing line, real thick fishing line. And I think what I surmised what happened is I have it over here, and I may have backed up the chair. And then when I pulled the chair forward, I slid it out of the fishing line, and it was sitting on my comic wall, basically with nothing holding it. It was just sitting like that. And I'm like looking at it going, why is that? That's not supposed to be there. And what's holding it up? And when I went to grab it, it fell on the floor and split about a 16th of an inch right there on the spine. I was so mad. But 175, like I say, it's missing those cards on the back, but this is a book I really never thought I'd have in my collection. Another Hitler cover. And I read it, and it was great. So this was $5 more than that other one. So those were two great books I picked up this year. I busted this one out of the Mylar. Out of the CBCS case, and read it. Oh my goodness, it was well worth it. Let me show you this. There's a character in here, a villain, and he's called the Match. And he looks a little unique, so he's not just like some gangster or nothing. He's obviously he's an arsonist. I could not find any information on him online anywhere. Every time I typed in the Matches Malone came up. So he's got a little bit of a like lanky look with red hair and freckles. But look at that, the Match. Very cool. Like I said, I cannot find nothing on him. And this also had a Christmas story right here. So you really don't, that's as much as the cover you're going to get inside here. You don't get no real Jack in the Box or nothing. And then the first story is Catwoman. So very cool. The funny thing is, I paid about the same amount for this book as I paid for each of those. So it's about $170, $175. I see this book selling at 1.8 for $500. That I got in 2022, but I thought I'd show it because it's a Christmas comic. It was cool. I just read it. I just busted it out of the Mylar. Excuse me. I love drinking chocolate milk. Okay. So I'll show this one. Batman, number 39. I bought that one in 2022. Some tape up here along the spine. Have not read this one yet. I'd say I'd bring it on the cruise, but these ones, like with tape, it's too fragile. I can't sit in a lounge chair and read it. I'd be afraid of destroying it. This one I might bring. I just busted this one out. This is from 1957. This is first appearance of Signal Man. It's right after the Christmas show 2 weeks ago. Stayed up late. I wanted to read this one because I wanted to do something like Christmas. So I busted that one out. Then I said, what the heck? I'll bust this one out. I hate slabs. I only buy them because they were raw prices. Okay, so this one I showed in a video already, but it's a really nice copy, and it's a Christmas cover. And it's 2024 pickup. So I just got this one last month. Number 45 from 1945. I paid $141 with shipping on and taxes on that one. I was after this book for the longest time. They had one for $75 on eBay, and I just hesitated. I believe Jerry the Jitterbug bought it. And then I saw a bunch of low grades, and I'm like, if I'm going to buy this, I'm going to wait for a nice copy. And this is probably, put this in the 4.5 range, maybe 5.0. It has a tiny little bit of damage right there. And I did read this one. Oh, no, I didn't. I was going to read it. I didn't read it yet. This is going on the cruise. Okay, so Jerry finished one of my books. I want to show the other book. So right here, he has another book of mine, my last one. He's going to dry clean it. It's a Schomburg Startling Comics, number 55, first appearance of Madame Mask. So I sent him 3 books over a year ago. He did my what was it? My Captain Arrow you saw online. Now he did my Thrilling Comics. And dear Mike, thank you, my friend, for allowing me to work on such a great comic. You are a true friend. Me and Jerry talk every other week, something like that. Stay tuned for a new package shortly. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Your friend, Jerry the Jitterbug. And so he called me and I asked him, I said, did I send you 3 books? And he's like, don't worry. You'll get it by your birthday. But I wasn't worried, Jerry. I just couldn't remember what the books were that I sent you because I have a bad memory. So he said, you'll get the other one by your birthday. So I'm like, okay. So here's the Thrilling Comics. He did a great job on this. Schomburg cover also with Nazis, Torpedo. That's Doctor Strange right there. Let's take a look at some of Jerry's work. And I'm sorry if this is long. It's my last video of the year. I'm going to release it on Saturday. And I just want to be hanging out here with you guys. So you can see this book had tape all the way, thick tape all the way around that spine. He did a great job. I had removed a lot of it before I sent it to him. You know what I like about this? It doesn't feel that thick, even though he didn't do a whole lot of leaf casting to it. I remember he did this cover. The red had bled through, and he had ultraviolet lighted it. And look at that interior cover. You did a great job, Jerry. It's very structurally sound, nice and crisp and straight. It smells great. And guys, just look at the colors inside here. So great superhero book. And this is from 1941. So early Thrilling. Thank you, Jerry, my friend. And for your honor, I put painter's tape on it instead of Scotch tape. Okay, so the next book is a new pickup. It's a Christmas book. I got it from my comic shop, and it's a really cool cover. It's from 1948. I paid $40.31 with shipping. This is a Gerber 5 Santa Claus cover, Big Shot Comics, number 96. Man, that glare. And then my granddaughter pointed out, she said, Grandpa, that lady's wearing a Christmas tree. And I'm like, that's right. I didn't even notice that. Her dress is like a Christmas tree. A very cool Santa Claus cover from the Golden Age. Nice copy, too. What do they call this? They said it was a 4.0 and it's restored. So usually their 4.0s are like 5.0, which does look like a 5.0. So usually when, about 9 times out of 10, when you see it restored by my comic shop or even on eBay, it's color touch. It's always color touch somewhere. Let's look at the back ad really quick. I gotta read this one. I got a ton of Big Shot comics in my collection. We have, what is it? Some kind of wallet. Or is it a picture for a wallet? I don't know. This is from December 1948. Santa Claus cover. Okay, so I got a comic book from the comic shop where I got the Xbox. I actually went back looking through some bins a little bit before we were leaving. Found this Key comic. Now I have a high grade of this. This one's not bad. It's probably a fine. So this is Logan's Run number 6 from 1977. I remember watching the show as a kid. It kind of creeped me out. It was really different. That's a John Byrne cover. But this is actually a Key Marvel book. If you don't know about it, let me tell you why. So my friend didn't know about it. He collects comics, not a whole lot, but he likes Marvel. He reads Marvel comics. He grew up reading comics. So I took it out and I showed him the story because it doesn't tell you on the cover that this is the first Thanos solo story. When I opened it up, what did I see down there? I saw a signature by Mike Zack. I couldn't believe it. So this was $8, and with a 60% off the back issues, it was $3. This is probably, looks more like a VG Plus. But like I say, I thought about giving it away, but I don't know. You know, I like Mike Zack. He's definitely one of my favorite artists. And he has the same name as me. Maybe I'll hold on to it a while and then pass it to somebody. I mean, what would you do if you have this one signed by Mike Zack in a VG Plus? Or if you have like a 9.0 not signed? Which one would you keep? Tell me in the comments. Which one would you keep? I picked these up. And Dave, Mark Spector Comics, made a comment. You bought modern comics. I don't consider these buying modern comics because it's a reprint of a Golden Age, or actually it's a facsimile of the Golden Age Flash. I had to get the shiny one too. I don't know what it is about this gold foil that they're using. It's like super cheap. It looks dark. Remember the gold foil they used to use back in the 90s was different. It was much brighter, much shinier. You could actually see reflection in it. This is like really cheap. I wish they would go back to using that other stuff. Because if you're going to have a foil, you want it to really be bright and shiny. You don't want it to be dull and dark. But I had to have it. You know, us collectors. So that's Flash Comics number 1. And I didn't put down when this was printed for the first time. But I just started reading it. I read the Flash story again. If you're like me, you've read these origin stories by Golden Age characters multiple times in your life. So this book was $20. It's incomplete, but I am trying to collect. I should have got them all out. All the Magic comics with the mandrakes on the cover, like the full cover. There's 22 of them, and I have 12, I think. And I didn't have this one, so it's a good placeholder for, what did I pay? I paid $27.77. It's missing 6 wraps, and it's really low grade, but look at that cover. Severed head on fire. So I think it's a great placeholder. This is a Gerber 6 for you nerds who know what that means. Magic Comics number 24 from 1941. You can barely see Mandrake there. Just a weird cover. I want to read the story to find out what the head's all about. And I've read the Mandrakes in this series. It's really good. Lee Falk is a great writer. The cliffhangers, I was reading one and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had the next one. And I looked up and I had it and I was all excited because it was really good. Okay, we're going to open up 4 packages. I just want to show these really quick and then we'll open those up and I'll let you get out of here. Whenever I can find these under $30 in high grade, I buy them. So I found this one for $23 on eBay and this one for $27 on my comic shop. And they are really nice copies. Classic Walt Kelly, Donald Duck Christmas cover. All right. Don't mind if I do. Okay, so next we have 4 packages. And obviously some of these were left in the rain, so this is wet. I sure hope it didn't get to the comic book. I'm going to assume it didn't, but you just never know. These are all Golden Age. One of the sellers, it had been like 6 days and he hadn't shipped the book. I guess I didn't read that he put on his store that his books are going to be late. And so I contacted him and I said, hey, what's going on with the book? And he's like, well, I had a death. My aunt died and I did put on my store that books would be shipped later. And I'm like, don't worry, dude. That's quite understandable. You take care of the family. So later on, he shipped it. And he said, I put an extra book in there for you. So, just probably I'm guessing because I had kind words, he's threw in an extra book. I think it's coverless. Yeah. But still, hey. So I wished him a Merry Christmas and told him about the channel. So this is the book right here. So this is the coverless one. District Attorney number 36 from 1953. I have a few coverless in my collection, not too many, but I'm a reader. So I'll definitely get around to reading it. And then this book here, I've wanted this book for years, but it's not like really a high priority on my list. It always reminded me of the horror book where that giant eye is melting the guy. I think that's in Astonishing in Atlas. But here this book is, take it out, I got a miler over here. District Attorney number 20, and it's a pretty decent copy. It needs a little straightening out in the press. Not too many wrinkles on it. Isn't that cool? The Eyewitness. That looks pretty good. What did I pay for that? I don't even remember. It wasn't much. He didn't put a receipt in there, did he? I think he did. No, it wasn't much. I think it was less than like $26 with shipping and tax. And for the condition, I thought that was great. It does have a little rip right there, but a lot of times I see this book and it's like really low grade. That's probably why I haven't bought it. Let's look at the splash page. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Now, Mr. District Attorney, I believe, was a radio show. I think it ran on TV for 1 season. Look at this book right here. I got to get this one. It says The Human Bomb. I got to see what number that is. I have never seen that one. Big Town, which was another radio show. I Battled the Timber Pirates. So a lot of cool stuff in here. Happy with this. I told him I'd shout out his So his store name is PC 805. So that's PC small lowercase is space 805. So thank you, sir. I'm not going to do any editing because I am crunched for time. Oh yeah, I'm going to put the Starling up there. Hopefully I'll remember that. If I can, I'll remember to put his store up there. Put that in the Mylar. And she is shiny. Okay, so 2 of these books come from one seller. They're the big books, actually. So let's do this one. This is a low-grade book. It's a three-issue run. It's by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby from Mainline Publishing. I think it's Silver Age, like 1955. I do have issue 3. This is issue 2, so then I'll just eat in issue 1. Yeah, that's what it is. Really low grade. It was $10 before shipping and tax. I said, why not? It's kind of got a creepy cover. And it looks like it may be a little bit brittle. Let me take it out. Man, the bag and board looks like it's been there for is it old? So it's called Prize Mystery. I believe it's 1955. Look at the candle. I think that's probably the most horror they could get away with. I mean, it's 1955. It's pretty close to the Comic Code Authority was just established, probably less than a year before this book was published. So they probably wanted to do a horror candle, but that's probably the worst they could get away with. I'd have to assume. I have no idea what the series is about. I have issue 3, like I said, and this is issue 2. From what if I remember, it's like an anthology series, maybe. That's what it looks like. Some pretty lame horror, because like I said, right about this time they were afraid about books not being able to make it through the code and not getting published, so they were very careful with what they did. So interesting. It's low grade, $10. It's a book that's like always fascinated me for years, so I'll take a chance. $10. I'll read it, have a little fun. Will I upgrade it? Who knows? If I find another one for $10, it's in much better shape, I probably will. Okay, the next 2 books are the big books. These are the last of the year. One's a Disney and one's a Fawcett. I can't believe I'm going to drink this whole thing. Okay, so we don't know which one is which yet. They were great prices, so I'm not complaining. But after I bought them, and you know how it is, if you find some books at great prices and they make an offer, or even if you buy 2 and you want to combine the shipping, you don't want to hesitate. I could go through numerous stories where I hesitated on books and lost them. First appearance of Nubia for $17. Nice copy. Had one little defect. I wanted to know more about the defect, and I sent the seller a message. That book was gone. I was like, "What, Mike? What is wrong with you?" So that's just one of the horror stories. So after I bought these 2, I asked the seller, could he refund me one of the shipping and put them together. He claimed he couldn't do that, but old Nighttiger here, he knows better. I've dealt with thousands and thousands of purchases. Matter of fact, I just bought a couple of books about 4 weeks ago. Three of them from the seller. And I bought them all separate, and then he waited. I told him there was one more on auction, and put them all together, and he did, and he refunded me the money even after I purchased them. So I know it can be done. But like I said, they were great prices. This is a book. So both these books I've been wanting for years, but I did not want to pay the high prices on them. This seller had both of them for $50 each, and pretty decent. I think one's a 5.0. I'm not sure what the other one is. I think the other one might be a 3.0 or a 4.0. But I'm a patient guy, and I'm cheap. And I won't pay up for, I rarely ever pay up for a book. It's got to be extremely scarce for me to pay up. I lost Headline Comics #1 for $100 missing centerfold because I think it was worth it. I've not seen another copy for $100 yet. Matter of fact, I think I've only seen one other sale for that book in the last 4 years since I saw that. I actually do have Headline 1, but it was a disaster purchase because I didn't know that they said it was missing wraps, and it was a facsimile cover. And I didn't know it was missing the first wraps, which were the actual first appearance of the Junior Rangers. Otherwise, I would have never bought it. I thought, you always think the inner wraps are going to be the ones missing, so you don't question it. This book is really taped in here. And I'm afraid of damaging it. My goodness. Okay, so this is the Fawcett one. This is the 5.0. And there was another seller that had this book, still there probably, $69, $70, and low grade. And no make an offer. And I'm like, I want this book, but I just cannot pay that kind of money for that grade. This is not a 5.0. I think he said it was, but it's not. It's a nice copy though, nicer than the other one. It's probably a 4.0. So out of this run, I think I need one more of the key books, and I have them all. And I think there's 5 key books in this run. There's 2 Christmas covers and 3 different war bond. And this is the there's 2 war bonds. And then this one is, it's not going to fit in there with these 2 boards. This is the Spirit of 76 issue. Oh, this is a war bond. It says buy war bonds. Excuse me. So this is Funny Animals #3. Really nice. It's got a dust shadow in the back. It's a thick book. I don't even know if I can get it in here. I had 2 boards in here, but it was too tight. I might have to do is trim that board a little bit because it's still too tight. I don't want to. So Funny Animals #3, happy with that. So that says we'll buy war bonds there. So there's 3 Christmas issues and 2 war bonds. I'm just missing the issue number, I think it's #2. That's the Christmas issue I'm missing. And then I'll have all the keys in this run. Okay, so this is the last book. It's a Disney book. It's a war book. He does have the other one that I need from Disney on his site now for I think it's $50, but it's like a 1.8, and I think I'm gonna wait until I can find a better copy. Man, this guy really taped these. Oh man, I hope I didn't ruin the book. Why don't people think about that when they're putting these together? I mean, the edge of the cardboard is so close to the comic. Come on, man. Oh, Harry. Okay, yeah, this one is lower grade. Presents nice. And this book goes usually around $100 or more, depending on condition. So I got it for like half price. Man, these boards have seen better days, that's for sure. So this is Walt Disney Comics and Stories, volume 5, number 10, from July 45. I don't know exactly what number that is. But here we go. It's the war letter, the presidential war letter, asking citizens to purchase bonds. It actually has the person's original subscription address here, James D. Johnston. So another Spirit of 76 cover. Very happy with those. I'm very happy to add them to the collection. What do you guys think of that? Merry Christmas to you. And I hope that, like I say, the year went as well as you hoped. Considering what we had to go through with certain things this year, I think it was a pretty good year. I always want to be positive, and I always want to see the good in every situation. Years past, I've lost a couple subscribers because like the year we had COVID, I was saying what a great year it was at the end of my last video, because there were great things that happened during that year. And I'm always positive. So 2024 was a good year. Happy Merry Christmas, Nighttiger Comics. Happy New Year. I'll see you after the New Year.